Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 1048. Oh, God, I had to double check that. Changes every show. Flow Wrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, on this Thursday. To my left, he's back after his walkout last show. That was weird. That none of us really understood. But you know what? He's a young guy. He's a free spirit. And sometimes he just leaves the show, and we don't know why, and it's fine. Tyler, hello.
I don't have to explain my creative risks. Sometimes.
That's a perfect. Just leave it at that. No, you nailed the line. You nailed the line. Don't just take the win. Take the win and move on.
Taking the W. Thank you.
Once again, back-to-back shows for Andrew Spey. Are we spoiling the people, perhaps? What's up, Andrew?
Hey, hello, welcome.
I think Andrew wasn't ready for that.
Welcome us.
Yeah, welcome to having me back on the show.
Okay. Great.
Well, it's great. Okay. So JD's on, I guess he's on vacation, huh? I didn't know we did those here.
Nebraska.
Oh, man. He stole my vacation idea.
Yeah, famous vacation destination.
Well, that's the land of his lovely wife, Colleen, so it makes sense. So he'll be back, I presume, next week. We'll have one show with me next week, so you can either be sad or celebrate that fact. And you don't have to answer that, Tyler.
Well,
because we're leaving together.
yeah, I'll also be gone.
So you'll be with me. We're traveling together on
Well,
Wednesday.
I will have many things to celebrate and be sad about.
Yeah. More celebrations than sadness as we travel to Paris together. That'll be fun. You, me, Connor, and Andy Hamilton, and my wife, Katie Piles, is also coming. She will not be doing any work there, but she'll probably try to be helpful.
No Caleb Piles?
No Caleb.
Darn.
No Caleb. He's holding down the fort here with the grandparents. Someone has to watch our YouTube.
That's right.
and hit off the
Someone has to keep me accountable, make sure I'm putting out black market videos.
Oh, my gosh. Tyler probably thinks I'm like micromanaging him. I'm just trying to get Caleb off my back. He's like, he's like asking me day 2 of Fargo, where's the black market video? I'm like, I don't even know. I'm like, he hasn't even started shooting this thing yet. And then he's asking me every day, but it's done actually.
Well, I have one more coming out eventually.
You have one more black market video?
But the Zepeda one's out. It's interesting.
Oh, that isn't.
I just gave Daniel Zepeda, for those who don't know. Well, now he'll be ranked like number 2, wrestling Bo Bassett, who's number 1. I gave him a microphone, let him just walk around the black market and talk to people.
Well, that was a good idea. So that's already up on the site. Now it's up on the site.
Now it's up on the site.
Tyler likes to keep videos secret from our website and just put them on social media, which is interesting.
A lot of my job involves taking things off of our website and putting them onto YouTube and Facebook. So sometimes when I make a video, I put it on YouTube and Facebook, and I forget to put it also
And Twitter.
on our website. Yes.
But he forgets we have a website.
But it's on our website now.
It's a generational thing.
It really is. No, for sure. It is.
Really?
Yeah.
I just like to blame things for being generational. So that one's already up. You can watch it now, and he's allegedly editing another one. Remains to be seen. Okay, let's talk about what we're going to talk about. That's my favorite part of the show.
When we talk about what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about a very exciting Olympics pick'em contest. Very excited for this and the prospect of winning $10,000. That could be good.
I like money.
Everyone likes that. It's a free contest. We'll get into it. That's called a tease, industry term. We're going to dive deep in 97 kilograms. We've been going weight by weight by weight, and now it's the weight of 97 kilograms. Kyle Snyder, Tajudinov, and a host of other really big, strong individuals at that weight class. Random other Olympic news. Kadi Magomedov is in. That's a fact. We'll talk about the impact on the 74-kilogram bracket, and maybe Sabalov's in. I don't know. That's being rumored right now. But oftentimes where there's smoke, there's a little bit of a fire. Big news for Iowa women's wrestling in the last week as well. But first, we're going to start opening round with a question, actually, from Take the L Beth. Take the L Beth says, is it too much to ask JD to create a fan-involved Olympic pick'em contest of some sort? And the answer to that question is we don't need JD for this. We don't at all. JD, one, Take the L Beth, JD's on vacation.
Yeah.
So it is technically illegal. You are entrapping me to commit a crime, which I will not do. 2, we have a better option because this is already done for us with Lineup Legends. So I'm going to tell you guys about Lineup Legends. They offer free-to-play games with big cash prizes for NCAA and Olympic-level wrestling events. And they just hosted their first big game for NCAAs in March and offered a $10,000 prize. It's free, and you can win $10K. And now they're doing the same thing again, hosting another free game with $10,000 prize for the Olympics in a couple weeks. It's a super simple setup. All you do to make picks is submit them via the Lineup Legends Google form. And in a little bit, Spade's going to show you just how easy that is. You just go to lineuplegends.com, and right at the top, you just click Enter Now for free. Okay, their Olympic game is awesome. It's a gold medalist pick 'em, so you don't have to pick like the full Olympic podium or anything like that. You're just picking the Olympic champions at 12 different weights, okay? So it's a mix of men's freestyle, women's freestyle, and 2 Greco weights. So you're going to be picking all those. And if you're right, you have a chance to take home $10,000. And each person's allowed to submit 1 entry, but you're allowed up to 10 entries if you share the game with friends too. So it's a little, you're at competition with yourself because you want your friends involved. Mm-hmm. That's creating competition. Mm-hmm. But in so doing, you get 10 total entries. So the real strategy is to invite your 10 friends that know the least about wrestling. That's right. Okay? And then that is the sweet spot for Lineup Legends, where you get 10 entries, but the friends you help are useless and have no shot at winning. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to be entering this. So that's 10 free chances to win $10,000 if you know a thing or two about the sport of wrestling. Mm-hmm. So you just got to go to lineuplegends.com, enter now for free. You just click that at the top, and Spade's going to show you how to do that right now. And Spade's going to make his Olympic champion picks right here live on the show.
On the spot.
On the spot.
Pressure's on the hot seat.
Look at him.
But there you go. That's the website. Right up top it says enter now for free. You click that, and it takes you to this page up here, Lineup Legends. It's a Google type sheet. You can read all the fine print, but then
Did you use your real email address or a fake one that's not real?
So if you use a fake one and you win, you're going to have a lot of egg on your face because you're not going to be able to claim the prize. You got to use a real email address that you can answer emails from. And then you see mine on the screen there. You can send fan mail to that as well, but that's where I'm going to be collecting my prize. You just hit the next button, easy peasy. Who will win? All these ways. This is it. This is what we've been training for our whole lives because I'm here. With former roommates, Devon Micic, going to make that pick there for Tyler, but that's also a great pick, 65. Could be anyone. I'm going Amuzad. That's Kozak's pick. He's a trendy guy from Iran. He won a couple years ago, 74. Trendy. Kyle Dake, I say he gets the great ending to his career, although maybe he wrestles some more. Keeps getting younger. Aaron Brooks. We're going more Team USA, 97. I love Kyle, but we're going Tajudinov. The guy's on fire right now. We're going to talk more about him soon, 97. I'm going to keep going, right? You want me to show you how you do it? Okay, another Michigan guy. I'm going Mason Paris. I say he's due. He's a young guy. He already beat Zare. We talked about that. Okay, 53. Don Parrish is our rep, but Fujinami, she's a phenom. She's like 20 years old. I think she's the future of that weight class, and it starts now. It started a couple years ago when she won her first Worlds. Helen, another storybook, Olympics for the third Olympics for her. 62, we'll go with repeating champ, Tiny Bukova. Also, the name is fun to say. 76, Kagami won 2023 Worlds.
Do it.
I did it. I'm sorry.
Man.
Japan, women's wrestling is tough to pick against Japan.
Andy Blades blast W.
she would destroy me, don't worry. And then Tyler says this name totally wrong, but an Iranian Garar A.
Space says it with
but we're in the middle of something right now.
Space says it with 2 R's. There's 1 R in the name.
87 kilos, another bunch of great guys here, but let's go, I think, Turkey. Let's go Turkey. How many medals will they win? Oh, I picked a bunch. Let's see, 6, 3, 9, let's go 10. That's a lot. Let's go 9. See, you can go back and adjust your.
These are the tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many golds? I think I said 3. No, let's go 4. How many silvers? We're going fast here. 2. How many bronze medals? 2 more. I don't even know if that adds up to what I picked. Doesn't matter.
So I want to talk. Can I talk?
You are on the show.
So we were meeting with the guy who started Lineup Legends, and he's a huge wrestling fan, has been watching this show for a long time. So a guy who's loves wrestling, is about wrestling, wants to get wrestling more eyes, and I think that when you are just putting money behind it like this, I think it's really awesome. He told us a story about how their first big Lineup Legends event was NCAA's, and The guy who won picked 9 out of 10 NCAA champs correctly.
Dang.
And I was doing the mental, doing in my head, I was like, would I have gotten 9 right? I wouldn't have. I would have gotten 8 right. But if you are looking back at last NCAAs and thinking like, man, I could have gotten 9 of those right, you might have missed out on $10,000. So if you want another chance at it, it's easy. You just enter your email, you fill out the form.
Yeah. I'm excited for this. We are all going to enter. And then if I don't win the $10,000, which is, it could happen, but it's probably going to be hard. If not, I at least want to beat you guys, you bozos.
That's the real
victory.
competition. Yeah. It's not, whether you win money or not. It's whether you can humiliate your friends in the office.
Yes. And there's nothing like humiliating your friends.
Yes.
So, yeah, please do enter this. Tell as many friends as you can. And that way you can get 10 entries. So, yeah, this is totally free. lineuplegends.com.
Yeah, I still got the thing up there, but there's one more page. It's mostly optional questions if you want to help Line Up Legends. But you just got to enter your name and a couple more pieces of information. You hit submit. I'm not going to because that's not my final answer.
Yeah.
But that's how easy it is.
You got to change 76.
Yeah, probably do. Or watch my back.
Yeah, that's right. Kennedy's mean.
Yeah.
This is not one of those situations where you sign up, you get free money, but then it's like a way to to scam you into losing eligibility for wrestling. No, this is a sweepstakes.
Tyler's been scammed.
I have.
What makes something a sweepstakes? It's a word that
you don't have to put money down.
Okay.
Ed McMahon's involved, I believe.
Oh.
He was the big sweepstakes
Kind of
guy.
like an angel investor.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's kind of like the Zach and Cody Danimal sweepstakes.
What?
You guys don't know about this?
The Zach and Cody Danimal?
Well,
Explain it for the
another
olds.
generational.
Is this
gap
is
thing.
that yogurt?
So when I was growing up, The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody was a TV show on Disney Channel.
Problematic. But
Okay.
Go on.
Why is that problematic?
Just go ahead. Nickelodeon.
Well, it was Disney Channel, so I literally just said Disney Channel.
A division of Nickelodeon, as we all know.
And they brought these kids on Danimals, Danimals, the drinkable yogurt.
Yeah.
So there was the Danimal sweepstakes where you got to go on like a boat, a cruise ship with Zach and Cody. And no one knows who won that.
No one knows
It's
who
a
won.
big mystery of our childhood.
Oh, really? Dang. All right. Well, now I'm curious.
But you will probably know who wins. Well, I don't know if you'll know who wins this, but someone will win this.
Yeah, because this could be me.
Okay.
I'm gonna have $10,000.
That would
be kind of sweet.
I'll be like, this is rigged.
I know. I actually said that on the call. I was like, it'll look kind of bad if one of us do win this thing.
Kozak is in the chat. We're missing Kozak right now.
I am missing Kozak.
You're not going to be missing him for much longer because he said Christian's going to find a way to cheat just like he did in our fantasy league.
Oh,
True. That's true. That's true. He always does.
I'm so freaking mad right now. I always win.
Just wait till ping pong. Next one's going to be violent.
I beat him. I beat Kozak yesterday in ping pong. Ooh. I played so bad too, and he knows I didn't play good. He can't believe.
What's the record on the month?
He's probably ahead.
Not important. Just numbers.
It's close though. Not the month.
My argument. Well, first of all, on record, I'm always rooting against you. Yeah. But second of all, my argument is always, if you're seeding a tournament, you'll always go with most recent head-to-head.
Then okay, I'm the top seed.
So that is, you're welcome. I'm giving you a little bit of credit.
Wow, you didn't mean to do that. All right, why don't we go, Tyler? Why don't you take us through? I'll let you pull a little weight around here.
Okay.
It's 97 kilogram time, I believe.
It's 97 kilogram time.
Break it down.
We did not make a bracket for this. I forgot to.
Sick.
I'm just now realizing that.
Right on.
Sorry
dude.
about that. But number 1 seed, we got Magomedov of Azerbaijan. Number 2 seed, Magomedov, I believe, was the silver medalist at Tazudinov.
You remember correctly.
Tazudinov is the number 2 seed. Snyder, number 3. We got, Spay, how do you pronounce that number 4 name? You're expert in foreign names.
Oh, Sifsi or Chifchi?
Chifchi
Ibrahim Sifsi.
of Turkey. Then we got Macharishvili. How'd I do there, Spay?
Macharishvili, yeah.
Oh, it is Chifchi. I just looked it up.
Chifchi.
Yes.
Of Georgia. And then number 6 seed, you got Thiel of Germany. Number 7, Yurgali of Kazakhstan. And number 8, Baranowski of Poland.
Yeah. You read those seeds properly. We don't have the bracket. That is unfortunate. Okay, because what that would illustrate is that Kyle Snyder and Tazudinov are on the same side. Mm-hmm. And they're a very likely semifinal. So you're going to have the quarters will be Kyle versus the German, Thiel, like that. And Yurgali of Kazakhstan versus Tajudinov of Bahrain, who is the big dog here. Now that's interesting because at the Asian Championships this year, the Kazakhstan wrestler, where said his name,
Aitmukan?
Aitmukan, lost 4-2 to Tajudinov. Pretty close match. Tajudinov really was pretty reserved in that bout. But they're not sending Aitmukan, who is the reigning world champion at 92. They're sending Yurgali. So they must like that matchup. I mean, because really a lot of these countries base it on, there is like a wrestle-off process and whatever, but how you can compete against the best is often a measuring stick as well. But they're going with that. So in reality, I feel like Kyle has an easier draw to the semis than Tajudinov does. Would you agree, Andrew?
Yeah, that's I agree, and I think Kazakhstan, both of those guys, Aitmuhan and Yurgali, are both native Kazakhstan guys. Whereas this is a theme in all the weight classes. Last year's finalists at 97 kilos, Tajudinov and Magomedov of Azerbaijan, they're both from Dagestan. So there's still a lot of Russians out there. You'll see the tournament. You'll see the teams, like if they have a guy that they bring over from Dagestan, they usually know he's better. Like in Uzbekistan, Jamalov is going to be the guy instead of Abdurakhmanov, who's a very excellent wrestler, won world medals, wrestled at Clarion, but they're bringing in, they brought in that guy for a reason. That's just kind of an aside. You asked if that's the better path for Snyder, and yeah, it's really about Tajudinov, and then the other fly in the ointment for Snyder, although he did beat him recently, is Azurpira of Iran.
Now Azurpira is unseeded, so we could see him in round 1.
Yep. So that'll be, no one else really is a threat in the unseeded guys. Ukraine got a guy in that's decent. Moldova got in after some guys got taken out. Other than that, it's not guys. Although the Chinese guy Habila is actually Kazakh or Kazakh ethnicity, but it lives in the Chinese part, or the part of China that's right near Kazakhstan. So he might train with Kazakhstan.
Did you know that Kazakhstan and China bordered each other?
I did not.
I didn't either. Not all my setups are to make you look stupid. It's so that I have someone to share in my ignorance.
I'm sure China borders a lot of countries we don't realize.
Yeah, probably so.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why I said
All right, that's it. Yeah. All right. Okay, so some thoughts here. Well, one, I have to correct a statement or an opinion.
Okay.
Because a couple shows ago, I think I did a video about this also separate from this show. When Sidikov and Kadi were announced that they were out of the Olympic Games, I said that Kyle Dake is now the biggest favorite to win any weight in men's freestyle. And I don't really feel that way anymore. A combination of looking at the entire 74 field and looking a little bit more about the path for Kyle and just some of the contenders. And that's separate from Kadi Magomedov being back re-entered into the field. But also looking at 125 and 97, I feel like Zare and Tajudinov are probably bigger favorites to win than Dake. And and I kind of lean Taz in some ways, just in that what he did last year to the field. Now we don't have to show that. We don't have for Taz. It's like he's dominated the two best guys in the weight, and he dominated his guy in the finals. He's beaten Snyder. He beat Sajalayev, who's not going to be there. It's like he has shown a level of dominance against the best that Zare has recently, but at least he's taken losses in the past. So I think one of those two are probably the biggest favorites. And the other thing, I feel like there's Zare will probably have to hit two really good guys to win, whereas in reality, it could be Tajudinov goes through Snyder, and then whoever makes it out the other side, it could be a repeat of last year's final, Magomedov, who he already pinned in the finals. So I don't know. It could be that they both end up winning, but it's a really, really, I feel like those guys are bigger favorites, but I don't know if you guys agree or not.
I was wondering I was wondering how you're going to make that full circle, because we were like talking about 97, then you're like, also Kyle Dake, and
Yeah.
But I think that Tajudinov is the bigger favorite personally, and that's coming from a guy who has been adamant that Kyle Snyder can beat him, but you guys actually convinced me. I can't remember who it was in the
Not
office.
me.
not you. Someone convinced me that, because I was on team like Kyle Dake is like for sure getting Olympic gold, and I think just like through discussions with people on the team, it's like, okay, yeah, maybe he's not a negative 1,000 favorite.
No.
Which I think for a while I was thinking he was.
There's a 25% chance, and we're gonna stay at 97, but we'll mention this. There's a 25% chance that Kyle Dake draws either Kadi Magomedov or Zhamalov in round 1.
Yeah.
Both those guys are unseeded, and they're absolute threats to Dake. One already teched him, and the other one I think is the other best guy in the bracket.
And I think I kind of forgot how close some of Dake's matches were at Worlds last year.
Yeah.
Leading up to the finals, like he was losing with how much time
Less
left?
than 30.
To Japan.
Yeah.
Like that's notable. So yeah.
Amami was what 2-2,
2.
and that's another guy that you got to get through. Who's really good.
And my first inclination was just to be like, well, that's Dake. He just wins like that all the time, which is kind of true.
It is kind of true, but it's all, it's also just the probability standpoint of going through an Imami in round 2, and who knows who he's going to have in round 1, and then just guys that have been really close. Now, I like Dake against anyone the second time to have a better performance. But anyway, so with Tazudinov, just a little bit technically on him, like everyone saw what he did to Kyle with just counter offense, and basically this guy single leg diva. He leads his right leg out really far, and like he does not care if you attack that leg. And if you try to finish on the mat with this guy, it's a nightmare. But we also saw with Kyle, like finishing standing's not great either. But I've watched, I don't know, probably 20 matches with him, and I can't recall an instance where someone got a leg attack and was able to finish it on the mat. And most of it, they get standing with him and they just push him out for one if they score at all. But by and large, any exchange on the mat, he's kind of a wizard. Like he wrestles like
He's too big.
he's like a Yanni. He's too slick. Like everything he does is like really like he locks through the crotch like a Yanni Sasso type of position, and he can take you a lot of different directions on his counter exchanges. So you have to finish standing with him. Obviously, there's danger there, but it's the lesser of two evils. So he's got a really good feel on exchanges where it's like, you think about the Brooks Yazdani discussion, it's all about getting wrestling exchanges and we'll do better. I feel like with Tazudinov, the more exchanges like on the mat where you're like flurrying, the more dangerous he is. And he has this uncanny ability. He shoots this double leg, like your standard like right-sided double leg, head up. But instead of like going this way to the right, he like circles to his left and pulls it down. And he does it against everybody. He did it against Sadulayev. He does it in so many of his matches if you go back and watch him. A really impressive feel. He's a really good athlete. He can fire from space and close a lot of distance on leg attacks. As the more I've watched, the more impressed I become just in watching him, and just he's more than just the Sadulayev and the Snyder wins, and he's just got a very expansive skill set, and he is a nightmare to game plan for.
Yeah,
I think if you're Kyle Snyder, you gotta ugly it up a little bit and hand fight him. Don't take the bait early. See how tired you can get him. Take ones. Get
to one leg, get it up in the air, and walk him out, right?
Get him to the zone and get under him and just drive, right? Like, it's going to have to be an uglier type of win. It's like you're not going to get a bunch of takedowns and win a bunch of like super cool exchanges, but I think we can be tougher than him. And he had a close match against Aitmukan of Kazakhstan. It was 4-2.
I was reading comments on that because I was like, man, this is close, and a lot of people from that area were commenting that he was fasting because of Ramadan, I believe.
Okay.
So it might have been both athletes, but I think maybe they were like, he's not the same guy.
I don't look at that match and be like, that's Tazudinov. And he won the match. People get, especially in international wrestling, get a little too hung up on close results at non-worlds and non-Olympics type of events. Like, these guys, way more than, we think about peaking and everything like that, but a lot of them are way more casual in their approach and how they view competition. So I'm not putting a ton of stock in that and saying, wow, it was a close match with Aitmu Khan. I think Kyle would destroy Aitmu Khan. There's a reason that Kazakhstan didn't send him, but I'm not going to, get too carried away and think, all right, now Kyle's for sure a better matchup against him.
The other thing is Tajudinov's really young. Like,
yes,
he's 21, and in the field at 97, it ranges from 21, that's the youngest, to 30. Yeah, 33 is Baranovsky, the Polish guy. 36 is the Dominican Republic, Luis Miguel Perez. Wow. A lot of guys in their late 20s. I think Snyder is pretty average at 28, but you got to hope that he's not training to the level where he can match Snyder for the full 6, because you just mentioned all of his technique stuff. How do you score on a guy that scores all of his points on counters? It's very
well. He doesn't though. It's like he also has this offensive threat that's crazy, and he's good upper body as well. So he is a tough. You just got to really limit it and get good in a couple positions. But man, Kyle's game, and so he's super savvy too, and they're gonna have a good game plan. And
I'm a little disappointed in is I was hoping that we get. Well, I don't know, Spey. You can tell me if Magomedov, Azerbaijan, has he had any matchups since the Worlds with any of the other guys at 97?
I don't think so. I mean, he may have, but I have to look at all up.
Going into Worlds 2023. This is the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Going into Worlds 2023, before the 97 bracket started, Kozak, we're in the back rooms, and he points to Magomed Khan and is like, if anyone wins this bracket and it's not Snyder or Sadulayev, I think it'll be that guy. Which is funny because it wasn't Snyder or Sadulayev. Tazudinov just popped onto the scene. But
yeah.
So the reason they went Yurgali is Magomed Khan just beat Aitmu Khan at the Budapest ranking tournament.
Okay.
But Matrashvili, the Georgian that's in the bracket, just beat Magomedov at European Championships, not the qualifier.
They've split.
Yeah.
Matrashvili and Magomedov have split. Kyle, no problem for Kyle against Magomedov.
What I was going to say is I was kind of hoping to see him kind of tested around some of these other 97 kilogram guys, but
they wrestled once, and Kyle got him so tired. It was kind of close early, and then Kyle sort of pulled away. Now, then again, we should mention Azarpira from Iran. That was a super close match as well that Azarpira won late. It was a step out, was really kind of the turning point in that match.
Against Kyle.
And it was really close. And actually, the camera kind of doesn't catch. You can see that he might have definitely stepped all the way out, but it's not abundantly clear that Kyle did. But definitely a winnable match, and one that may not happen. We don't know where Azarpir is going to be seated, but he's definitely a threat. Very good wrestler.
Azarpir was Iran's rep at the last Worlds, right?
I don't know.
I always get him confused with Mohammedian, who's their other rep at that weight.
I thought it was Mohammedian, but
was it?
I think it was Azarpir at 97. No, he entered the Grand Prix.
Because Mohammedian had almost beat Sadulayev. Do you remember that at Worlds last year?
Yeah.
It was such an awesome match.
Well, then what are you talking about? If you wrestled him at Worlds last year, you already know.
I just remember it was Iran. I couldn't
remember
if it was Azarpir or Mohammedian. And
I think it was
Azarpir, I was like, oh, man. Because
it was Golej.
Oh, it was Golej.
Yeah, Iran
they're really deep. They have a lot of big guys.
Golej almost beat Sadulayev, and then Sadulayev was just like, I'm Sadulayev, and pinned him, remember?
That's right.
It was so sick.
I do remember that. That was crazy. So very, so 97. All right. What else can we talk about with this? We've got our list of things we're going to go through.
So we can go through, those are the contenders. I mean, I don't even know if there's any dark horses at this weight. Do you think there are?
It's not as deep with dark horses. It's not like a 65 or a 74 or even an 86. 86, I feel like there's a bunch of guys that could make a final opposite Brooks and Yazdani.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if Spey has any dark horses.
It's not a dark horse, but Azarpira is definitely the guy that's unseated that you want to watch out for. The Chinese guy Habila is probably the least known guy that I saw some good stuff out of. From Xinjiang in China, did not pronounce that right. And then your Gali is also a young guy too. Aitmu Khan is even younger, but he's only 25. But yeah, I think 97. We mentioned it last week, but the heavier the weights, usually the less surprises. Whereas 57 and 65 just seems a little bit more. You can create unexpected results or just stuff that doesn't repeat from year to year. You can get some changes in results.
Kyle is so excited for this matchup. Tajudinov, talking with him about it, he was like, "Yeah, it's great because my third match is always my best match. I always feel the best. Like first, second can be a little tougher, but my third match is when I feel absolutely strongest, most powerful." So, yeah, it's not in this interview though, so you don't have to pull it in. But it's for Kyle, like you're kind of looking at little things and trying to be like, all right, this is a reason we can run him down. And we don't really know, but I'm certain no matter what I predict today, by the time the Olympics roll around, I'm going to be saying Kyle's going to do it. I'm every freaking Sadulayev matchup, I talk myself out of Sadulayev and into Kyle, and then hasn't happened.
I just
in a while.
feel like I do think that Tajudinov is the biggest lock for gold.
Yeah,
but calling him a lock is like a stretch. I don't think he's a lock either.
Yeah,
he's like the biggest.
He's your
favorite.
most likely. Yeah.
Most likely gold.
Yeah.
But watching back the Snyder match, it's like, oh, Snyder just had no idea who this guy was and didn't really understand him and his game plan. Like, Kyle was, and maybe Tajudinov lets him in on his legs because that's part of 100%. His game plan, but Kyle's getting in on his legs and he's doubling off, but then Tajudinov is able to plant both feet. I feel like the game plan changes. You get it on the leg, you get one foot in the air, you walk him out. And I think that Kyle can do that, and that will be reflected in my predictions for this weight.
Yeah, I mean, that is really the thing. And that's what Kyle said in the interview. He's like, he didn't feel like anything. It's like, I really felt like he was just wanting me.
He said he had really strong hands, right?
Yeah, he's like, he said strong hands. But yeah, that'll be the thing. It's like standing single. And he's still, even from standing, he's dangerous, but he's not impregnable there. All right, we ready to do predictions?
Let's do it.
All right, let's start with Spay. Put him in the hot seat.
Back on the hot seat.
The hot spate.
The hot spay. Ready for some predictions?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Tajudinov as well, as much as I don't want to. I would love nothing more than to see Kyle Snyder victorious, but Tajudinov just has too much momentum going in now with all the wins he's had. They're going to be on the same side, so that means I got to get Snyder for bronze. Give me, we'll just say Azurpira on the other side of the bracket. Who knows where he gets drawn in? I think he might be the next toughest guy so that's silver for Azurpira, and then the other bronze, we'll give it to Magomedov.
Man,
you just copied Kozak's picks.
Yeah,
did I?
They're pretty good. Wow, it's sort of
picks.
Yeah, I did. Picks. Yeah, Kozak's a smart guy.
He's a smart guy.
The only things you can really change are, well, everyone's just putting Azurpira up top because it just makes things simpler.
Yeah,
that's one thing we're all doing.
I'm not going to do that.
We're just saying he's going to be there. Okay. Yeah, Iranian DNP.
Which makes the other bronze hard.
Yeah, have fun with that. Yeah, man. I think it's Tajudinov. I think he beats Kyle. It's not going to look like the last match. I bet it's going to look really different. Taz says he's going to shoot more. He says he's got a surprise for Kyle. He's going to attack more, which if we beat him at the pass and don't let him in, and we can go behind, we can run behind him, but if he gets in, I'm fearful that he's going to be able to finish. So Kyle can do it. There's no doubt about it, but odds say it's Tajudinov until proven otherwise. So I'm going Taz, and I'm also saying Azurpira over Magomedov on the other side. He makes the finals, and I've got Kyle getting bronze, and I'll take Magomedov to get.
You guys just had the same picks, all
Well,
three of you.
That's what I know.
All right, give me the space speed dealers. Where are they at?
Mix it up. Oh, where are they at?
Where are they at?
I'll try to find them.
Yeah, go find them. Well, I'm going to stall for Christian while he looks for these sunglasses and just talk about this weight class. It's going to be in Paris, and that's going to be... Oh, thank you. All right.
Nice. Get in tight.
First bronze, I'm going to go with... I like going bronze up. You guys kind of give away all the suspense when you
I like
go
that.
first.
I like that. You're right.
First bronze, I'm gonna go Baranowski of Poland
Wow.
because
He's ageless.
he trains in the United States. He's at the NJRTC, I believe.
Okay.
So give me him. Reese Humphrey is gonna help coach him to greatness. Then I'm gonna go with Tazudinov as at the other bronze.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Then give me Magomedov from Azerbaijan, silver. Give me Kyle Snyder, gold.
Kyle Frederick Snyder.
Al Frederick Snyder. Azurpira is being drawn on the top side in this, or on the bottom side in this,
Oh.
and is not medaling.
Wow.
That's just my prediction.
Sorry, you're on.
All right,
Just what you believe.
it's just what I believe.
I love it. I love it. I hope that happens
Takes fifth to
so badly.
Taz.
Man, if Kyle wins another gold, that'd be unbelievable. He can do it. He can do it.
You can do it.
All right. We got some other things to get into. Any other parting thoughts on 97 before we move on?
I have he's in the bracket, but it's he's not going to be very happy that we're showing this video. This Moldovan. This was Ibragimov's second to last match ever, and it's just a fun match. We'll skip to this part.
Who's he wrestling?
Lefter of Moldova, and that's Ibragimov of Uzbekistan, who left his shoes in the middle of the mat. And this was not our camera work. This was we had to put that spladle in there, big man spladle.
Oh boy!
And it takes a while for the ref to call it. I don't know what he's looking at.
What are you looking for?
Yeah, poor man is having his whole life put on
It's
display.
Whole situation.
That whole situation is not good right now.
No.
There's finally the merciful call. And then he just kind of casually gets up. No big deal. Ibragimov's tired. No Ibragimov. That's a guy that Kyle Snyder beat in 2016 on his way to, I think maybe he didn't wrestle him. He made the podium in 2016 in Rio. And he was an old guy there. He's an old guy now. But Lefter, I thought this was Lefter's, like that was at the Olympic qualifying. So this was him getting eliminated from going to the Olympics.
Ouch.
That's tough. But he's back in thanks to the IOC ruling guys ineligible. That's
Yeah.
my only other thought. I just wanted to put that.
Good segue, Spay, as the IOC has apparently made Kadi Magomedov of Belarus, formerly Dagestan, eligible at 74
Is that official?
kilograms.
We were very skeptical last show.
No, I know. And then UWW put him in the Olympic entries.
Okay.
So, yes, it is now official. There wasn't like some announcement or anything like that. They just plopped him in there.
Why wasn't there an official announcement, I wonder?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think they're trying to draw more attention to that whole situation.
I mean, it just shows. I mean, I talked about it in the last show.
Big deal, though. So
huge.
returning Olympic silver.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal, but the reasons why he's in, I don't think they want to talk about or like publicize, because why is he in and all these other Russians weren't? And like, can we get a slight understanding of the process is probably what people are wondering about.
Kozak and I did a interview with Kadi at last year's Worlds. It's on our YouTube. We translated it.
Yeah,
It's he's an interesting guy. He's really funny.
he is.
Yeah, he's a jokester. He was calling out Jordan Burroughs in the interview.
I don't think that's funny.
Well, I mean, it was in a funny way. Just watch the interview.
Well, I guess you think that's funny.
He was like, Jordan, where are you? I can't find you. It was funny.
Oh, that is kind of funny.
Yeah. What was I going to say? He ended up losing to the Greek, didn't he?
Kugi
At Worlds?
Mitsidis. Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, and then Kyle beat Kugi, which I think we should just call him Kugi because
Kugi Monster.
yeah.
Wow.
You like that? So yeah, and now it sounds like Sabalov could be getting in. That has not been.
That's not on the UWW or IOC or anything, but whatever the organization, it's not WADA, but there's another organization that does the anti-doping or released it or something. They had his information out there of him being ineligible because of he didn't report to a test or something. That whole thing is wiped off that website now.
Ooh.
So I think they reversed. But then I read something where the Court of Arbitration of Sport in Switzerland, which is where all these things get adjudicated, like they're like not in session until the Olympics. It's like if you didn't make it on their docket, you're not going to get that ruling. So maybe they said because he wasn't able to get a full trial, we're going to have to let him in, presumed innocent or something. I don't know.
Innocent until
I'm all speculating here, but yeah, Cotty is, anything can happen, but 99% in, at least as far as the paperwork. Sabalov, I think it looks like he'll probably get back in. You won't have to add another guy to the bracket. So right now there's 18 because there's an Olympic refugee that's in there. So it's always going to be 17. So normally 16 every weight class. Every division style has one extra depending on what weight class. 74 is where the refugee is for men's freestyle. Now you add Cotty back in to make it 18, but Serbia already qualified. They had a Greco guy in there like as a placeholder. It was really weird when Sabalov got pulled out because Sabalov qualified. Now Sabalov's back in. So all this stuff makes it very tough to build brackets, to do hype and previews and all that stuff, but you got to roll with it. So that's where we are.
I think Sabalov had like a 4-4 match with Sidikov at last year's Worlds.
Sabalov?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's older, but he's got some juice left in the tank.
He's really good. I mean, he's a world champion.
Yeah.
No, he's tough.
Beat Yazdani.
He did. He's Yazdani's last non-David Taylor loss.
Is that true?
In January of 2016.
Wow. He's a guy, I think
pinned him
Rose had to beat him for a world title one year.
17.
Yeah.
Yep. He's good. Very good. So 74 going to be an insane weight and just gets crazier with an Olympic silver and a world champion potentially re-entering the field. So really tough weight class there. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We had a question. It's sort of related to what we were talking about. We don't have to pull it up or anything, but it's simple. When are Olympic brackets announced? So they do them, and I know this because I asked Kozak yesterday, and then I remembered, my memory was jogged, but they do them the day before. So it's not like in conjunction with weigh-ins like it is for a lot of tournaments. They announce them the day before. So like it'll be after that first session, as I recall. It's like after that first session, they all come out from the day before. So we'll get a little advance notice on the various draws and things. So that'll be awesome, and we'll have at least like 24 hours ish to kind of dive in and discuss the potential matchups and paths and whatnot. And so that'll be good, right? Yeah. Excited for that. Nothing like a wrestling fan getting brackets, getting your hand on those beautiful, beautiful brackets. Okay, some other news. Iowa women's wrestling is
adding a couple of world medals.
They're running it up now. So they added early.
I guess Kennedy isn't a senior world medalist yet. But she's so next level. And then they added Macy Kilty as well, all in the last like week and change. So very, Iowa won last year narrowly. Last match, Kylie Welkrez's dramatic pin, and now they add Kennedy Blades and Macy Kilty. So really, Iowa City very much being Wrestletown USA for women's college wrestling. You might be thinking, well, wait, they're adding Kennedy, but they already had Kylie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how's that going to work out? But I'm pretty sure in women's wrestling, you can add like 15. You can enter more than one girl per weight.
Yep. So they're going to be really, really good next year. So that's exciting news for
You might see Iowa with 2 finalists at that weight.
That'd be a great match. Okay. Other things. What else did I want to get into? I've lost my...
Ohio RTC?
Oh, yeah. That's right. Coleman Scott is now a coach at the Ohio Regional Training Center, which is, I think, a necessary position for... you think about when Ohio State was on top, they had, Coach Roselli was basically essentially running the Ohio RTC, and then they had Gavin and Tervel and J.D. Bergman, Kyle Snyder, Logan Stieber, Reese Humphrey, Sean Bunch, Cejudo was there. Like it was insane. I probably forgot some guys. So I think Coach Ryan plucking Coleman Scott is really smart hire and shows. I think it because there have been questions like, hey, where's the investment here? You guys were all in on this RTC stuff, and then it kind of Kyle left, and then it was kind of just Colin carrying the flag for them. And it's like, where's the RTC now? So I think this is a signal that it's going to be a real investment to bring in senior level athletes, but also they got a group of studs. They got Feldman and Mendez and Buzakis and on, guys that are going to want to train there post collegiately and try to make world teams in the off season. So it makes a lot of sense to have a freestyle coach like Coleman Scott, an Olympic bronze medalist, and someone who knows the freestyle game well, to have him there. So I don't know the vision. And the cool thing is Kyle Kleeman's at the NWCA coaches convention. Coach Ryan is a staple of that. So hopefully we get an interview with him, and I'm sure that'll be one of the questions that Kyle asks, in addition to primarily like, how's Coach Ryan doing? Like, he had this insane car wreck that was, super dangerous and life-threatening. He didn't have life-threatening injuries, but like, certainly could have passed away from it. So glad he's all right. So be good to catch up with Coach Ryan, and look forward to hearing what he has to say about Coleman and all the other things. Because, I mean, of all the coaches to you want to talk to, you get to ask him about Sammy Sasso. Like, what's up? He says he's wrestling next year. Like, I have 1,000 questions about that.
He said 100%.
100%. There's no ambiguity there.
When we talked to, you weren't here, but when we interviewed Jesse Mendez on the show, he's like, yeah, Sammy's like back to how he used to be, like back to the same level.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Dang. That's
He
kind of
also said that it took him like 3 months to get a takedown on Sammy or something, or maybe it was like 6 months. He took him months to get his first takedown on
Really?
Sammy. Yeah.
Wow. That's quite a statement. Hey, while we're in this,
Well, I have one more thing to say
go.
about RTC.
Please do.
I think that when you have a big school like Ohio State investing in their RTC, it's a really good sign, because in the wake of NIL, like, there's a worry, like, is NIL going to cannibalize the RTC format? Like, is all this money that used to go to RTCs, is it going to start transitioning into NIL money? And so when you have a big school like that showing that it's still important to invest into an RTC if you want to get top talent, I think that's great. I think it's going to, you want as many schools keeping their athletes around, or giving any athlete a place to continue their career. So I think it's awesome.
Yep, totally agree with that. Okay, so in the we were discussing, is this where I wanted to go? Yeah. FRL squad. This is from Grady Hamilton.
Or we're at questions from friends.
Because it was topical for some reason.
Okay.
Why did I think this was topical? Oh, yeah, because Jesse Mendez. All right, there we go.
Boom. You're so good at transitions.
Yes. So he said, I need you guys to settle a very heated debate between me and one of my friends. I think that 141 has the best top 3 in the rankings currently. Mendez, Alirez, Bartlett. And my friend thinks 174, O'Toole, Haynes, Welsh is way better. Please help settle this debate. I don't know if we're going to settle it.
We were arguing about this before the show.
I'll say this. Neither of you can really pretend one. I do not think either is vastly superior. It's more preference, but I will pick a side here ultimately. So with the first two, you have national champs on both sides. You've got Mendez, Alirez, O'Toole, Haynes. Very, very great. I mean, O'Toole was on the, we were talking 4-timer, right?
Yep.
He was right there to win it. He loses this crazy match to David Carr, and Carr goes out a champion in like the coolest rivalry in college wrestling history, maybe. But he's right there. And Levi Haynes, Haynes is there, but we don't really know if he's going up to this weight class. So that's a big question, right? Like, is he going to this weight class? What's he going to look like at 174? Whereas you got Jesse Mendez, who is a national champion. You got Andrew Alirez, the returning national champion from 2 years ago. And then you have Bo Bartlett in there. So for me, I feel like Welsh, Bartlett is not enough of an upgrade over Welsh to make up the difference between O'Toole and Haynes. I feel like O'Toole is like almost like on a GOAT sort of trajectory. I mean, he's almost a 4-time national champion. This guy is winning the toughest weight class, multiple wins over David Carr. And so I'm saying 174, and with Haynes, and this is a little bit me saying like what I think Haynes is going to do in his career and what he did last year, undefeated national champion, like very dominantly, makes me think those two are the best. That 174 is better.
You think 174 is better?
Yeah, I do.
What about Rocco?
What about him? A true freshman.
You didn't talk about him at all.
I will talk about him.
Okay, go ahead.
Since you asked, I mean, he's a true freshman national finalist. He's only going to get better. He was right there in he figured out a lot, as you see many true freshmen do. If you think that was the best Rocco Welsh you're going to see, you're crazy, right? And he made the finals as a true freshman. I think his trajectory is really high. Now, I don't think he's going to be beating Keegan or Levi necessarily, but I think he's going to have a great career, 4-time All-American type of guy, potential national champion down the line. is really good out the gate, and he's only going to get better. So I put him skill wise. With Bo, I don't think there's that big of a difference between how good both of those guys are.
So I'm gonna go 141 for sure, because when you talk about a top 3, what's most important to me is the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper is the third guy.
What about the keymaster?
The keymaster, also important.
What's a key? Is this like Zelda?
No, that's
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, dude. Who are you gonna call?
I am the gatekeeper. Are you the keymaster?
Yeah,
It's
you
the
don't know
very
this?
end. We're on the rooftop right before the Stay Puft Marshmallow shows up. Anyway,
Is this the first Ghostbusters?
yeah, Ghostbusters 1.
I think we're quoting Ghostbusters 3 on you.
Ghostbusters 2 was actually haunting because that painting freaked me out when I was.
Those are the Gozerian.
Yeah, that was a scary painting. I don't really remember 1 all that much.
Anyways,
All right,
Bo
nerds.
Bartlett is the gatekeeper at 141. Rocco Welch, the gatekeeper at 174. And I am going to argue that Bartlett is better for his weight class than Rocco. Like, you look at 141, all 3 of these guys, I believe, competed at the Olympic trials. Bartlett definitely was at the Olympic
Yeah,
trials.
he did.
Yeah.
They all did.
Bartlett's doing well on the senior level at 65 kilos. I don't know that you plug Rocco into, I guess he would be like 79 kilo. Am I getting off topic here?
No, not at all. I just don't think those are relevant points.
I like comparing them to like other guys that are outside of their college weights too.
Didn't Bartlett? He had his hand raised against Nick Lee in the 23 World Team Trials.
he beat
and then
Open. Yeah.
the Open. Sorry, and then they were like, "Oh, my bad," and then
Yeah.
it was Nick Lee, and he was that close to.
Yeah.
It was the year Nick Lee made.
Listen, yeah, I'm a Bo Bartlett truther. I've been carrying the flag way before it was cool. So you're not going to get me to talk.
And so, hold on. I still think Rocco is a very good wrestler, but I don't even know necessarily that he was the second best guy at his weight at NCAA's last year. He was on the opposite side as 3 national champions.
Well, that was a good job by him to get seated. That's all part of
Savvy seating.
That's called strategy, Tyler.
Yeah, it was his plan for Carter Strachey to get hurt and become the 9th seed.
Yes.
That was all Rocco.
Well, he would have always been opposite Carter. Carter would have been the 1. He'd have been opposite him.
Yeah, fair. But that Carter sliding to the 9 impacted the other guys.
Well, Shane Griffith lost to Lorenzo Norman. So actions have consequences, Tyler. So
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. Maybe your generation doesn't think
I
actions
think
have-
we have more data on Bo Bartlett. He took third. He took second. He was probably the front runner at 141 all year until Jesse beat him. And so I think that him being third is a statement for that weight class, whereas Rocco being third is not necessarily a statement at 174.
right.
If you want to talk about which weight class has a better top 2, I'll say 174.
Well, then that.
I
Okay.
want to talk about different questions.
So,
It's different questions.
okay.
And this is not me disrespecting Rocco. Rocco's an amazing wrestler.
Yeah, you seem amazed.
Huge future on this guy.
Uh-huh. So just to answer Grady's question, Tyler thinks that the top 2 at 174 are better. And he thinks the most important thing about the top 3 is the third, not the top 2.
Yes.
So, Grady, I think you have your answer.
I can also.
If that's how if you're looking at it, who's the best number 3, then that's a pointless way to look at it, in my opinion.
Well, the question is which is the better top 3?
But here's the real
Are
question.
you just going to ignore number 3?
No, it should have the least significance, not the most. You're giving it the most. That makes no sense.
I disagree.
Well, that's just fine. So, Grady, there's your answer. If the number 3 is the most important thing, then it's 141.
That's like, okay, what about
if
it?
2 out of the top 3 and they happen to be number 1 and number 2 are most important, then maybe it'll be 174.
Can I also say
yeah, go ahead, Spay.
the way this was worded, and if this is exactly how it went down as Grady transcribed it here, if his friend says it 174 is way better, I think we can say the friend is wrong because way better is not
Crazy.
Yeah, but if Grady is exaggerating to try to win points in his argument, that's not exactly what his friend said.
Okay,
There's not a vast difference here.
what do you think about this top 3? Carter Strachey, Keegan O'Toole, Levi Haynes. Because there's a better chance.
Carter Strachey's not going 74.
There is a better chance.
Are you kidding me?
Why don't you listen? Close your mouth and open your ears. There's a better chance that Carter goes 174 than 197. He's not going.
Wait, did you say Carter Strachey, Keegan O'Toole, Levi Haynes? That's literally impossible.
No,
Oh yeah, you're right. but imagine.
You already.
But imagine.
I'm imagining.
You don't know where they're gonna wrestle. Listen, there could be a double.
Make up scenarios to try to win arguments.
My point being, Carter Strachey, Keegan O'Toole, and then Rocco Welsh. Throw whoever you want at third. You can throw whoever Michigan's gonna. Who are they gonna throw out 174? Bowman. I don't give a shoot.
I don't give a shoot.
But Carter is not going 197. That's a fact. Not happening.
That's a fact?
That's a fact.
How do you know?
Come on,
Tell
dog.
us.
Because I know. I know because I know. 84 or 74 is what he's looking at, which no matter what creates an absolutely absurd weight class. So Carter's either going to have to go through, or really reality, Parker will either have to go through Carter Strachey, however you want to say it, doesn't matter, or Keegan O'Toole, Carter Strachey. Those are things that are going to happen for him to win his 5th NCAA title, which would be an incredible way.
That is cool.
I think, honestly, no matter what, he's not going 197. But if he did, do the double bump in 197, that's such a statement. If you beat Carter Strachey, or if you beat Parker Keckeisen, that's an insane statement. If he beats Keegan O'Toole, he says, this is my weight 5 years in a row, and I'm beating Keegan O'Toole. That's insane as well. So, know that he's not going 197. That's done. And
Do you know if he has plans to wrestle at non-Olympic weight worlds?
No, he's not going to.
So why stay at 74 then? He talked about how he's not going 74 kilos.
I think it's better. I think
86 kilos is long-term for him. Why would you not move up?
I agree with that. And if I had to guess, I would say 184.
Yeah.
But there's also, I think that you could have some lineups in it. No matter where he goes, it creates a problem. Because if he goes 184, he displaces Josh Barr. Because I think Barr can't go 174. And they have Facundo. And they have Levi. Facundo has no red shirt. Levi does. And then if he goes down to 184, then it's do they use Cochran or do they bump up Josh Barr or do they use Mirasola?
Wait, what I think you said? What were you saying? If he goes down to 184?
Yeah, then that Barr has to go up to 197 or Cochran goes 197. So no matter where
they could plug in a twin. What
Mirasola?
Mirasola, yeah.
Yeah, they could do that if they want to wrestle Connor year one, which I don't know if they want to do. I mean, I think Kale will wrestle the best guy generally, whether they're a true freshman or not. But
I don't think Barr's big enough to go 97.
I don't either. But so anyway,
is he wrestling 79 kilos?
I mean,
Against Aiden Sinclair?
no. You think Aiden wrestled 174?
I don't. What weight was it?
It was 86.
It was 86?
Yeah, 189, and he beat him. So I think that's notable. But yeah, I think you should know he's not going 197, and if he goes 174, that's insane.
Why isn't he wrestling at non-Olympic weight worlds?
This guy stay healthy, and like you said, long term 86. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Because I think Aaron Brooks is gonna not be long for 86 kilograms. I think this might be it. I think he's gonna do what he does here and then go 92 non-Olympic and then eventually 97.
Well, that transitions us right into another question from a F.
Okay.
Which is a Q from F. It's from the real Slink. What domestic guy is coming for Kyle Snyder? Well, he said Snyder. Doesn't really seem like anyone in the near future.
Yeah, it doesn't. And it didn't. It has. His last competitive domestic match was Jake Farner in 2016. That's his last domestic loss and his last really close to series. He dominates everyone. Kyvan, Colin, Trumbull, whoever it is. He's just. So I don't know. I mean, it's literally is it one of the Mirasolas? Is it
Aaron Brooks?
Aaron Brooks. And the reality is the answer is probably Aaron Brooks. I think now that's probably 4 years down the line. I think the Nittany Lion, crew is going to want to push that off as long as they can. But I just don't think 86 is a long-term option for Aaron Brooks beyond this year. He just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Am I confusing this? Has he ever said in an interview that he's going to go 92 after this Olympics? We just assume that.
Maybe not publicly.
Okay.
He might have it when I interviewed him before, but I know for sure.
I might have just been assuming that.
I'm not assuming it, but I don't know if he said it in an interview. But I think, but then the thing is, this happens, and then once you get that bye and you get that sit out to Final X, that is you talk yourself into things, right? And maybe, and now he has to medal for that to be a reality, but I think Aaron Brooks will medal. And so that's the ultimate test, is when you get down to April or the time where it's like you declare it and you could say, I'm in Final X right now. Like, that's a temptation. And we'll see what he does. But, if he's the Olympic champion, going up to 92 is not that big of a deal at that point. So we'll have to see. But that is a good question. But for the Kyle Snyder, unless Aaron moves up, it's probably still a few years before he gets a competitive match against anyone. Who's in the mix?
Yeah.
Not really anybody.
No one has been.
No one's been close. I mean,
Hard to imagine someone you could just plug in there.
No. And you kind of, I think it's honestly kind of like harmed a little bit of Kyle's view. It's like, you don't even think about him in trials. It's just like, he's already on the team. You're not even like, it's like, okay, it's this guy. He's going to win. He just kills everybody.
Yeah.
He's been so dominant.
You're saying it's harmed like his perception almost?
Yeah.
Like how good he is?
Yeah.
He gets left
people
out of a
forget
lot of
about him.
conversations where it's a guy that's been winning since 2015.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, insane run that no American. I mean, Jordan Burroughs, rightfully so, in 2011 changed the
Everything.
perception of USA wrestling. But Snyder is doing something that no one does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Bruce territory, and he's like 27, 28.
Yeah.
If he wins gold, he says he wants to wrestle. He's like 45.
Yeah.
If he wins gold this year, like I predicted with these shades on,
Yeah.
he is like Bruce Baumgartner territory. 2-time Olympic gold.
Yeah.
He'll be how many golds would that be? 5?
Yeah, so 15, 16, 17, 22, and this one. So, 5.
Which would be exactly as many as Bruce.
Yep.
I think, just making 3 Olympic teams
Yeah.
is not something that people did yet. Bruce is for longevity, but it's like 2 quads at the most. Most guys do 1 and they're out.
Mm-hmm.
Did Bruce have 4 Olympic medals?
I think
84.
I think he had
88,
4 Olympic
19,
medals.
in 96.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's absurd. And how about this? Mihan Lopez is trying to win 5 Olympic gold medals. That doesn't even make sense.
And it's his 6th Olympics, mind you.
And RZA's out.
Yeah.
He didn't medal at his first Olympics.
Yeah, what a loser.
And the number 2 contender at Greco heavyweight is ineligible
Pop.
because of performance enhancing drugs.
The seas are parting for your young Mihan. He can do it. I mean, it's insane to think about winning that many. And this dude just rolls up every 4 years and wins the Olympics.
That was
Hear me out.
What a life.
Hear me out.
I'm listening.
Rulon Gardner-Karelin,
Oh boy, here we go.
Adam Kuhn, Mihan Lopez.
That would be insane.
Give it to me.
That would be incredible.
Oh, I see what. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For greatest moment, that would be a legendary moment.
Huge parallels here.
Mihan was the easiest money in the gambling on the Olympics for Tokyo. He was like he started at like plus 200 or something stupid. It was like how are you? Because he wasn't in.
So ridiculous.
You could tell the early lines they didn't because he wasn't in the Worlds before. So it was like,
yeah.
who's this guy? They didn't look back to the last Olympics. They don't know
Fools.
Greco. Yeah.
The lines makers didn't have access to Google, which will reveal he's a 3-time Olympic.
You got to
champion.
Google every entry in every tournament. I mean, it seems easy, but they got stuff to do. They got other sports.
Oh, man.
All right, well, hard working. Okay, the real Avery Lynch. I think he took this question from someone else, but it doesn't matter. Who makes American wrestling fans cry in 2024 in Paris?
Tears of joy or tears of sadness?
Cry.
Cry.
Just cry. It's someone, an Iranian fan said Yazdani after this. Ooh. He could make us cry. I think nothing would make me. I think the answer either way. If Kyle Dake doesn't win, that's super sad. Mm-hmm. Just like everything, this is the moment. Everything's pointing to because like for everyone else, it's like Spencer Lee he'll have other opportunities. Kyle Dake's 33. Mm-hmm. Snyder is an Olympic champion. Mason Paris is young, and Zane, he could continue on. And but it's like Olympic title is like the thing for Kyle. If he doesn't get it, and then if he wins, the elation.
Yeah.
like everything with
His tears either way.
with his dad. Yeah, it's waterworks. If I know it freaking in my household, if Spencer Lee doesn't win this tournament, it's gonna be tears. It's gonna be a meltdown. You gotta hide the walls. He turns into like a Mountain Dew kid, just freaking out. Like he's like Kyle Brackey.
He was there at NCAA's in 22.
That was bad.
Yeah, that's what's putting the fear in CP's heart right now is knowing what happened.
That was like we'd never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a lot of bad things happen in his
It's like
life.
his hero.
Yeah. 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 So,
Yeah, I remember you were like, you were like, this is a sign for how good his life is, but this is the worst day of his life.
yeah. Yeah. It was. I was like, and I knew he was, he like melted down. Anyway, so hopefully not that.
Yeah. Dake is also definitely my pick because you watch him. Like, it's weird when you look back, like, oh, I've been really following wrestling closely for that long now, but it's all of Dake's career. Goes through college, sets all those records, and then is immediately blocked by Jordan for a few years. And then when he finally made the team, and we all thought, and then COVID, and then Tokyo, like all these things are happening, and you add them all up, and it's like, man, this is now. The more you think about it, the more I really want him to make it happen.
If Helen wins, that will be.
Oh my gosh.
If she goes out. Oh my gosh. I mean, after 16 and then she was so close in 21. She lost 2-1, like right there. And then it would be who knows? I mean, in 21, it was like, is she going to come back? And she obviously can still compete at this level, but it feels like this will be the end. Hopefully not, but it would be my guess. And if she could go out champion here, that would be unbelievable. At the, this final signature on the greatest American women's career ever.
Yeah, watching history is cool.
By far. Yeah, absolutely. And she can do it. They really believe she can win. And she thinks she can win. So let's hope it happens.
If Sarah beat Yui Suzaki.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
that's our like see, here's the thing, like going into 2016, it was not people thought Helen had a shot. I remember thinking Helen can beat you. She did like 16-time world champion, something insane. But at the time, like Helen was a reigning world champion. It was a thing. Like for Sarah, it wouldn't be Rulon beating Karelin type of upset, but it's kind of in that strategy for how dominant Yui has been. Now,
That's Snyder side July.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it probably is, a better comparison. But Sarah hasn't won yet. She's been right there in silvers and bronzes. Like Kyle won 15 and 16 back to back going into that match. For Sarah, she's taken losses to not Yui. So if she did that, I would put that up there. That's like
Miracle on the mat.
perfect.
Yeah. There you go.
Put it on T-shirts, trademark it. Don't even
It's
dare.
actually better than the Miracle on Ice because there's more alliteration.
And what is wrestling slogans without alliteration?
Yes.
Wrestling, we love alliteration more than any sport. I'll put that up against hockey or.
It's true. Hockey has nothing on our alliteration.
They
Get out of here, hockey.
They don't even try.
March Madness?
March Iceness? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't even think so. Get it out of here. Okay.
Beat it.
Dude, I know what's going to make you cry.
Yeah, if any of my friends win Olympic gold, I will cry.
Yeah, for sure.
Or if they even just make the Olympic finals.
Even if they're just like there and just hang.
Even if they punch you really hard on the arm until you start crying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that will be insane. I mean, if Miles goes out with a bronze, that's pretty amazing. A 2-time Olympic medalist.
Yeah.
Definitely at that point, best wrestler San Marino history. I'm ready to say crown him, put him in the Hall of
Only
Fame.
at that point.
We need more data. Need more data. Okay. Other questions. I'm just doing the questions.
Okay.
That's
I was gonna say I normally do those, but
No, just
go ahead.
let me.
Also, I don't want to just say Miles, Stevan, Mason, any one of those three.
Adam Kuhn.
I hope Adam Kuhn. Oh my goodness, all of those guys.
Okay, is Ryan Cookham, a little NCAA talk. This is fun. Is Ryan Cookham more vulnerable to the less?
Are you saying Cookham?
I hope not. Crookham.
Did you hear him say Cookham?
I don't know, but I'm ready for you to cook him right now.
I'm
Let's
cooking
go.
you.
Let him
boy.
cook.
I'm pulling that up later.
I heard cook him.
You said Cookham.
Okay. Chill. Is Ryan Crookham more vulnerable to the rest of 33 than it seems? Because he's basically undefeated all year, but had really close matches with a lot of the field. he's not like he's not a dominator, right? But also doesn't feel like I feel like he's so hard to score on. He's almost like a little, minus the title as a freshman, a little Dake in some of his like feel in some of the scrambles and stuff.
That was kind of my opinion of him. This tweeter's question, like that was my opinion. Was that like, okay, yeah, he's beating Vito, but like he's having close matches. Like he might be vulnerable to other guys. And then I think I watched him beat Nasir Bailey twice at NCAA's, and I immediately ended that opinion because Nasir kind of separated himself from the guys below him, and then Ryan kind of separated himself from Nasir. So
yeah, I mean, who else could? I mean, I firmly expect Drake Ayala to be at this weight next year, so he'll be in the mix. But I would favor Ryan in that.
yeah,
Dylan, is he back?
Ragson's back.
He's staying 33.
I don't know, actually.
He's kind of a big boy.
I think he'll still be.
They got Limley,
Yeah.
so they don't want to redshirt him, do they?
I have no idea. I think you'll see Dylan.
It's our Michigan insider here, folks. He really keeps us plugged in.
I didn't know that we're going to be talking about Michigan's lineup on this show. I would have made some calls.
I didn't know that you would have to do extensive research to know something about your team. Your
I try not to be annoying. I try not to be badgering to them. You know, like maybe it's my fault because I need to do a better job of just reaching out and being a friend.
Yeah,
But
maybe
when
just
you
be a
over and
friend.
over again, you just reach out. Hey, tell me about the lineup. It gets annoying for people.
Well, you know, people like talking about themselves, so just do it.
Okay.
All right, I'm trying to look. I'm not texting people. I'm looking
Hot
up his
chicks.
matches. Hot chick, Katie Piles, shout out.
Here's the pull up the rankings.
Yeah, so he does have, like, he had the 4-3 with Leet. He had 8-3. Yeah, a lot of decisions. He didn't dominate many good guys. So yeah, I'm not putting him. I'm not saying he's like a next topic guy, but I have a hard time concluding anyone else is the favorite. Right? I don't know who I could pick to win this weight that's not him.
Yeah.
Unless Dayton gets another year.
Well, I mean, you know, I'll pick Dylan Ragson every day of the week.
Yeah.
I got some insider information from my Lehigh insider.
Oh.
And he was at Hotel Bethlehem for his 50th college anniversary back at Lehigh. And Ryan Crookham was a greeter for his NIL deal. And he said he is a very polite and charming young man.
Well, that's good.
From the insider.
At least we have some good inside information
Yes.
here.
Someone's doing a little bit of homework.
He said this is the type of student athlete, because he's also a student athlete, that Lehigh should be recruiting. He's very impressed.
They should recruit nice guys that are the best in the country.
Yes.
And
This
that
is the type of athlete that Lehigh should be recruiting. Guys that can beat the returning world champion.
and that excel in the classroom as well.
Someone tell Pat Santoro to recruit straight A students that beat national champions.
Yes.
It's a simple recruiting strategy, Pat. Just get those guys.
Those guys
At all 10 weights.
And anybody that doesn't think NIL, it's all just phony money and writing checks, he put in the hours to work as well.
That's good.
He was there saying hi to all the alumni.
Lehigh's going to do that right. That's not a bit. That's just true. Well, I wonder what's going to happen with he and Stanich, because Stanich is like, you know, he loves McDonald's more than any wrestler.
I love that being his
not
bit
a-
now.
It's not a joke. I'm pretty sure he has the golden arches tattooed on his body.
No, he does, yeah.
Yeah. So okay,
Tremendous.
he loves McDonald's. So the idea of him being at 25 more than 1 year, I think, is pure fiction. So how do they? He still has a red shirt available. They could redshirt him, but man, feels like you want Crookham and Stanich in your lineup as much as humanly possible.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like you want that for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
That can happen. So how they figure that out is will be interesting. Okay, last question, I think. From Salty Walk On. Boys, I'm going to go into a taping of Penn and Teller at Full Us TV. Got me thinking, in what year does Cowboy Wrestling's new Magic Man win his first team trophy? And that's a gold trophy.
So is that a team title?
Yeah.
How can you predict that?
Well,
Are you going to attempt to?
they came to the experts for this question.
Okay, go for it.
Well, I think the easiest thing would be like, when's the first year it's like going to be possible, right? It doesn't feel like it's going to be possible this year. So you need Penn State to clear out some of their like legends, which is maybe a time that will never exist. But
The recruiting classes just keep stacking up.
I know, but you know, let David cook.
Let
All right,
David cook.
it's so 24-25 is out. I think by the time let's say this. In the next 5 years, he'll get one.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's a bold prediction.
Yeah, I know.
You're
Listen,
giving 5 years?
To quote the great Cale Sanderson, I believe in David Taylor.
Okay. I think he signed a 6-year contract. So maybe there's a lot of pressure to win one within 6 years. Who knows?
They're going to be, I'll say this. Listen, winning it's really hard. But I think there will be, within the next couple of years, a scenario where we say Oklahoma State can reasonably win NCAAs.
Yes. I agree with that.
And, like, that's been – you think about early – it's so funny now with Penn State, but, like, their early runs were really close. Like, in 2014, it was like Oklahoma State could have won. Minnesota was right there to win. Iowa had a really poor tournament, but they were good enough to win for sure. In 2013 – Alan Galagayev, if he doesn't try to jump over Tony Nelson, Oklahoma State. I'm not kidding you. Watch it.
I don't know what you're talking
He
about.
tried to jump over Tony Nelson. Why would you do that?
I could do that.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe you.
I'm good at.
But he tried to jump over him, and he could have, and that would have won it for Oklahoma State and
What do
Minnesota.
you mean he tried to? Hold on. What do you mean he tried to jump?
He tried. He left both his feet and tried to hit
a flying
like
squirrel?
a jump over, go behind, and he just took himself down.
Okay, gotcha.
This was 2013. The match is, I think, on YouTube still.
Okay.
You can find it. We can't play it, or we will go to jail. Which I hate jail.
Yeah, I think the Gophers, just regular sports YouTube channel. Nelson pins Galagayev. Oh no, National Duels. Never mind.
He pinned him one time at National Duels, but Z had beaten him that year too. Z was the best. Alan Galagayev, maybe my favorite heavyweight of all time, and should have won a title that year. Was good enough to win a title. Not should have. But he was right there to win it. He was super awesome.
Okay.
And if he had made the finals, they would have won.
Oh, here we go.
Gopher Town, USA.
Can't play it, but if you just search Google,
If you just search google.com, Alan Galagayev, Tony Nelson, 2013 NCAAs.
YouTube.
He went airborne. Not good behavior. So anyway, I think Oklahoma State's going to be in that mix soon. I mean, you see the recruiting. They're already bringing in guys. Now, recruiting's not been the issue. Spade, can you confirm he just tried to jump over him?
Yeah, I was trying to do some sort of go behind and doesn't look good.
Yeah, he's just leaping.
You know what? It's kind of like, here's I'll take a screenshot. It's kind of like when Boltakayev kept trying to do bolt wheels.
Yeah.
At the 16
Dude, that was
Olympics.
awesome when he was
Fraud.
doing that, though.
Fraud.
This doesn't give you
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's a blurry mess.
I think you could have topped that. Man, that's not even the angle I recall. I remember it being like zoomed out from the complete other.
This is the only angle I got.
It's good enough. I understand what's happening here. Sure.
Yeah, it's like abstract art. You know, you kind of fill in the blanks
You
here.
can see the motion.
That's the back of Galagayev.
Yeah, I know the body parts, but it's like that's not how I remembered it. You know, we'll watch it. Just everyone watch it, and then we can just like talk about it afterwards. And
Anyway,
see.
the point you're trying to make is that Penn State had some close team races.
I don't know what my point was. I just
Penn State.
my repressed rage about Alan Galagayev not winning that year. That's what it is.
If you watch the full thing, he's going around. It's not like the most insane thing to try to get a go behind, but Nelson stands up as he's jumping, and then Galagayev just falls right off. And it's like a kid trying to get a piggyback from his dad when he times it wrong, and he just sloughs off and he's back on the ground. But there's no still from that is going to capture the whole thing.
Alan Galagayev was he came here from, is he from Dagestan? I'm pretty sure he's from Dagestan. He's from Russia. And he didn't know nothing of folk style. And this dude, by the time he graduated, was hitting like rolled through tilts on Bobby Telford. And
Really?
He totally became a folk star.
What school do you wrestle at?
Oklahoma State. And he had like no issues getting off the bottom towards the end. He famously in 197, he had he was cutting so much weight to make 197 his freshman year. And he was wrestling Loft House, the big one. Not Ethan, Luke. And he won, but barely. It was like really ugly, and he got super tired. And like right on the Big Ten Network, he's like walking off. He flicked off the Carver crowd, and it was on TV. And so that screenshot of him flicking. Actually, it wasn't a screenshot. because like
You do the splits while
it was
you did
it was people taking. Alec Gallagher should have prepared Iowa fans for middle fingers.
He walked so AJ could run.
Yeah, so it could split. So, anyways, but this picture of Allen flicking off the Harvard crowd kind of went 2009 viral, 2010 viral.
Yeah.
Just like on message boards, people taking pictures of their television.
Which is funny because like I feel like that those years viral meant like, well, I'm thinking the YouTube videos, like the most viral video had like 9 million views, but somehow everyone in the world had seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Charlie Bit My Finger.
Yeah.
It was 2009 viral.
video.
Didn't have that many views, but like everyone you knew had seen it.
Everyone knows
That math doesn't check out for me.
math, not math.
Now, if everyone has seen a video, it has like hundreds of millions of views.
Yeah. Do any YouTube videos? Some have billions of views now.
Yeah, music videos. Yeah.
Baby Shark.
Baby Shark. I think the only videos with billions of views are songs.
Really?
Yes.
None of your videos.
None of my videos.
Okay.
I think Mr. Beast might have like the highest viewed video that's not music related.
What does that guy know?
He doesn't know nothing.
Yellow guy of, according to the Okali student newspaper from Chechnya, trained by Buvai Sarsatiev.
Not familiar. But
Don't know his game, sir.
he's now a New York financier, I believe.
Private equity.
Alan, he is. I'm pretty sure he left the wrestling world to be a New York financier.
In good company.
Yes. All right. We're going to go. Great show. If I can just pat myself on the back.
Yeah,
here.
fantastic.
You guys did awesome. This was fun. We'll be back on Monday, our final domestic show before the Olympic Games, where we'll be here. Next time, so in the Thursday after that, we won't be on the show because we'll have just be landing in Paris.
Paris, as you said at the beginning of the show.
Paris, to sound super French.
Ho, ho, ho.
That's okay.
He just started playing the music.
Thank you, Josh. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you watch. Oh, wait. He left again. Go to lineuplegends.com and enter the Olympics Pick'em contest. I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to win. Maybe. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time. Goodbye.